So today we've got Rachel Thacker, and Rachel's standing in Isle of Wight West for the Alliance for Democracy and Freedom. Thank you for coming in, Rachel.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's such short notice as well.
I gave you plenty of notice.
Yeah, it was me that gave me no notice. I've not been keeping up with emails, unfortunately.
Well, there's a lot, is there?
There is, yeah. I'm just a team of one, so going out leafleting, trying to manage the family and trying to get round emails whilst doing hustings, it is a little bit much.
It is quite challenging. And as I've said to others, I do admire you genuinely for, you're doing this yourself.
Yeah.
It's one thing doing it with a party machine behind you, and that is hard work, but it's much harder when you do it yourself, so no problem about that.
Thank you.
So, you said you're still managing your family. Tell us about your family, a little bit about your family.
Well, I moved to the island because of some unfortunate circumstances with my husband. He's got brain damage and epilepsy, which he's had since birth. And after 20 odd years of being seizure free, they randomly came back like that. My sons was 2 and 4 at the time, which was really difficult because obviously they were all over the floor and my husband's seizuring, his feet are going everywhere. It was really, really difficult. So I was in a pretty bad place. I rang up my dad and I started crying down the phone to him. And he says to me, "Oh, move in with me, Bab," and he lived on the island. So within 2 weeks I was here. I didn't need asking twice.
A woman of action. Oh,
Yeah.
You're happy here? You've had family settled and...
I absolutely love it here. Within 6 weeks my husband's medication was increased and then I had this abundance of support. So I thought, I'll go and do a law degree. So that is what I did. The intention was to become a solicitor to help people. But actually when I studied law, I realised the system is as corrupt as I thought it was from the outside. So I didn't want to continue in a corrupt framework. So I thought the only way to change that framework is to move into the political field. And then I tried to set up my own party. I needed 10 other people to register a party. And in trying to find 10 people, a member of ADF phoned me. They says, "Have you looked at our policies?" I was like, "No." This has gone, "Look, I actually found the principles." And I was like, "Those principles are brilliant, I can work with them. The policies are neither here nor there. The principles actually facilitate what I want, which is giving back the sovereignty to the public rather than Parliament."
Yeah, brilliant. And I saw one of your leaflets and you say you're against gender ideology. How does that fit into the principles?
I'm absolutely for gay rights and things like that. If you want to be trans, that's absolutely fine. What I'm against is it being in schools. If I was to go and speak to a random child on the street about sexual preferences, that is grooming. But because the government says teachers should do it, it's all okay, and I don't think it is okay. Whether you're straight or not, you shouldn't be discussing sexual preferences with children. And that is what the gender ideology is about. It's probably not the right words to use on the front of the leaflet without further explanation. But yeah, that is what we stand against.
All right, that's interesting. So we asked other people about the national polls, but I haven't seen the ADF on them. But
No.
How do you feel it's going locally? What's the response on the door?
99% of people appreciate what I'm doing, and then they absolutely are receptive to what I'm saying. I think Labour will win though. I don't think I'm well known enough, or ADF is well known enough to be, I've literally jumped in from nowhere. I've gone from a parish election that I lost to standing in the general election, so it's a very big jump. And I'm known for throwing myself in at the deep end on things, so yeah.
There's always 5 years' time, Rachel.
Yeah, I will stand again.
Oh right, brilliant.
It's been really enjoyable campaigning.
Why do you think you'd make a good MP? What's it about you that would...
The thing about me is I'm not actually knowledgeable on a lot of stuff, so I won't be sitting here thinking that I know best and I'm the best person for the job. It's actually, I'm probably the one with the most integrity, so I'm going to sit there and say, well, what do you want to the public, rather than trying to say what I should do for them. I will take direction from them.
And what if you get a mixed message?
I will get mixed messages because the public are never going to be on the same page. But the idea is you carry the majority view forward. So personally, I would hate a fixed link. But if 68% of Isle of Wight West says we want a fixed link, that is precisely what I would advocate for.
And if 51% of them said it?
It's the majority, 51% is still a majority. I'd be stuck if it was 50-50.
Do you have a casting vote?
No, I don't think it would be right to put my own opinion forward on it. So, no, I would probably redo it again and say we've had 50-50, has anybody changed their mind?
Right. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing the island?
Oh God, that is so difficult. There's so many challenges. The NHS is certainly very problematic. Waiting lists are far too long. There's so many children that are waiting on ASD diagnoses and such and failing to get the support. That is a major issue. But then we've got the ferry companies that are pretty much holding the island to ransom. There is just so much. I would probably grab a handful of things, put them on paper and say to the public, what do you think we should work on first?
That accords with your philosophy. So
Yeah.
So something we've asked all the candidates is every year there's a ballot for a private member's bill. Should you wake up on Friday as the Member of Parliament, and the winner of that ballot can introduce a new law, but it's not going to cost anything. So what would the Rachel Thacker law be?
Personally, if it was my choice, I'd probably say that the law needs redesigning. So if you are a public function company or a private company that performs a public function rather, you shouldn't be allowed to pay dividends whilst holding debt. And that is the same for charities. Charity CEOs should not be able to claim six-figure salaries when they're supposed to be a not-for-profit. I don't think it's right to pay such huge sums to a charity CEO.
I think there'd be a lot of people that would agree with you on that. So is there anything you disagree with the ADF on?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but internal discussions, there is quite a few things that the party disagree on internally. And the way we overcome that is we say, well, we won't have a party stance on that because things like abortion, they're not really politicians' choices anyway. They're for each individual to say. So with bodily autonomy, it's your right. I shouldn't be saying you shouldn't have one or you should have one, It's the individuals that matter.
And that's the sovereignty of the individual is a thread that goes through the entire party. Yeah? And that's what attracted you to the ADF?
Yeah, it is. And the fact that it will facilitate bringing back sovereignty to the people.
And how have you been getting on with the other candidates?
Oh, amazing. They're all lovely. I wouldn't mind losing to any of them, to be honest.
You are actually the first person that said that, Rachel.
They are genuinely lovely. I'm holding my hands up. I'm the least experienced. I'm under no illusions that it's a tough call to win. But I'd like to win. But if I didn't, I wouldn't be sad about it. Like, I would respect the person that has won.
Brilliant. And have you had any amusing things happen to you whilst you've been out? Hustings or knocking on doors or?
Amusing, no. Embarrassing, potentially.
Well, come on, share.
I've accidentally found myself in back gardens. So a lot of the houses on the island, I don't walk much. I normally just go to where I'm going in the car. So walking round, I'm finding houses are on different orientations, and you go through a big gate thinking it's the front of the house, and then you're like, where is the letterbox? So knock the door and it's someone's back door. So I'm very sorry about that. It's very embarrassing. I've also tripped and cut my hand open numerous times delivering leaflets and screamed a few times on Ring cameras when spiders have dropped onto me. So a few stories.
But you've enjoyed it overall?
Yeah, overall it has been amazing, and I've met some lovely, wonderful people as well. It's been great because I don't often get an opportunity to meet people because I care for my family at home. So it has been great getting out and having an excuse to say hi.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, Rachel, and good luck with the rest of the campaign. There's not much left of it now, but we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for having me, Carol. It's been great.